It's called the Elite Four. At least give me a save point before the fifth. Well, there was a save point, but as long as you don't sit your ass on the throne ahead of time. But that's so tempting. Anywho, but what was really funny was I had to start over from before the this thing because I accidentally killed the totem Pokemon, and I didn't catch it
Oh
after
no.
the whole giant friggin' celebration at the end. Mother effer.
Right. For real.
Friggin' Mudsdale with one high-powered kick just knocked him out. And I'm like, oh, was I supposed to catch him? And then I looked online. Was I supposed to catch this Pokemon? They're like, yeah. Yeah, you were supposed to catch him.
Oh.
So I have to start that battle again, which is unfortunate. Anywho, that's just an update of where I'm at right now. Today we're talking about Godzilla, Kaiju, and other giant monsters. Because I freaking love Godzilla.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I when I was little, I don't know how little, but I watched Godzilla in the original like black and white when they had the dubbed versions of the extremely giddy 50s guys. It's at the time it seems okay, but if I watch them nowadays, like there's something seriously wrong. But otherwise, whatever. All
I
right.
I'll go ahead and I'll be like a ridiculous edgelord about that. I prefer the subs of the original Gojira.
You know what, now, like, because I didn't really consider that until I got into anime,
Yeah.
and now, like, that's actually a good consideration because, gosh, some of the voice acting is just way, ooh, yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's the like you're being attacked by a monster. I don't understand how you can be that like, oh, we're gonna save the day.
Right.
Like that's
Nah.
you're fighting something that's maybe 5, 10, 15 times your size,
Right. At least.
at least,
At
depending
least.
on what monster.
And depending on like what value we're looking at, right? Because like the larger an animal is, like the more its like density scales up and like its
Hmm.
weight tends to be higher per like proportionally.
Yeah.
Because like elephants are only like what two dudes standing on top of each other's shoulders can like be as tall as an elephant, but they weigh
Yeah.
several more tons
Yeah.
than people.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, like there's that whole thing to consider. Like regardless of how much taller Godzilla is, it's got to be like volumetrically way outside of like people's
Yeah.
like area of like of even being able to like. Well, I mean, like you could do the math on it. I'm not saying don't do the math. In fact, do the math and then tell us in chat. But like,
Yes. Any of you Godzilla buffs, go to the wiki. I'm sure the wiki is actually pretty damn good.
right, tell us exactly how much bigger by volume Godzilla is than a human being.
By volume. We're just getting real technical here. Holy shit.
You
Damn.
could also just do straight weight, right? Like that'd be fine too.
Yeah, that'd be fine. If you set a human in a tub and Godzilla in the same bathtub, how much water would they displace?
The bathtub would be destroyed. So we do not have an accurate measure.
Damn it. Okay, we need to get a Godzilla-sized bathtub and see how much water Godzilla displaces, and then throw a human being in there.
That would be how you do.
It would, but I kind of doubt it would actually be measurable at that point, throwing a person into a Godzilla-sized bathtub.
I mean, you could definitely see how much water they displaced.
I guess. It wouldn't be much, though.
Right? No, it would not be much. Like the difference, the difference is such that it wouldn't matter really.
No, not really. It'd be like a drop of water.
Right.
Pretty nice.
But yeah, so I know that we've talked a little bit about it on your stream before, Ving. But tell us what is your favorite kaiju?
Okay, so I'm gonna set this up. I actually have like an internet search. So my favorite is Megalon.
Megalon.
Yeah, Megalon. He's a giant cockroach There we go. Oh, hell yeah. Here we go. Is it showing up? Hello? Internet window?
Let me take a look.
I don't think it's showing up. Here, let me... I think because I changed it, it's... Yeah. Yeah, that. Uh-huh.
I'm waiting on the stream to catch up.
No, it's not showing up. That's weird. I thought it could just be like, ta-da, and it would show up, but apparently that's not the case.
Apparently that's not the case.
That's a little fucked up.
Have to deal with that OBS stuff later.
Yeah, fucking hell. Anyway, I'll just copy and paste it in a chat then.
That's a good choice.
There we go. Megalon. Wow, that's the longest fucking link ever. It might have actually just gotten rid of that link because
it did. Moobot definitely deleted.
Yeah,
link.
Moobot. Yeah, because Moobot's an asshole.
It didn't warn you, but definitely deleted link.
Okay, let's try this one. Ooh, this looks grainy like it was from the original movie.
Ooh.
All right, is that one better?
I'm gonna click it. Oh yeah.
There we go. Okay, so there's
yeah.
Megalon. It's so weird that it's just the internet window. Weird shit. Anywho, let me try this actually. Da-dunk. No, that didn't work. I tried to switch windows and it totally didn't do anything.
Damn.
Whatever.
Well.
Technical shit for another time. Anywho, Megalon is a giant cockroach with giant drills for hands. And I think the description is that he can actually dig underground at Mach 6 speed or something like that. And he can spit napalm.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty sweet. So, hey, Bakar, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, we're talking about Kaiju, Godzilla, and other giant monsters. I just shared my link of my favorite, which is Megalon. Unfortunately, I can't get the friggin' window to work. How fucking weird. Anywho, what's your favorite, Saber?
My favorite Kaiju of like all time is... Like, I want to say it's a toss-up between Godzilla and Gamera, but it's really not. It's just Gamera.
You like Gamera the best? Gamera's the rocket turtle, basically.
Yes, that is exactly correct.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like Gamera. He's like a flying saucer / turtle. So, I mean, how can you really go wrong with that?
It's true. It's very true.
I'll just go ahead and pop a link to an image of Gamera's likeness in the chat as well.
Nice. Yeah, there's Gamera. Heck yes. Awesome.
Now, I will say this. If it comes to like a question of whose like bad guys are better, hands down it's Godzilla.
Yeah. Like, I'd agree with that. I mean, there is a soft spot in my heart for the Gamera like lizard with a cleaver for a head.
Yes.
Like that's a really cool creature.
Oh, what's his name?
And let's get that in LinkedIn chat too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the internet window update, it just makes the screen black now.
Huh, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Like, what the hell?
The giant monster is named Gowron.
Gowron? Oh, can you get a link of that in there?
Oh yeah, I can.
All right, let me see. Yeah, there you go. The giant lizard with a cleaver for the face.
Yup.
Heck yeah. Gotta like that.
The first Gamera bad guy I ever saw was was one called Baragon, and Baragon was like this, also like a giant lizard. He had like this. He was basically like an enormous chameleon.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's based on this weird Japanese mythology. Like he could shoot a rainbow out of his back, and like it like sliced Gamera to pieces, kind of deal. It was weird. And the only way to like get him to stop his reign of terror, so to speak, was to like drench him in rain. Like he couldn't move. He had to like be comatose if he was like being rained on. So the Japanese government found a way to like seed rain clouds above him and just caused rain to fall on him all the time. So he couldn't come out and make his rainbow shine and kill people.
Wow, that's the oddest thing I've ever heard, I think.
Yup. He also had like a chameleon tongue that would come out and shoot frost out of the tip of it. It was weird.
So
It was
so
just
literally
totally-
killed people with rainbows, and you
Yeah.
had to basically rain on his parade in order to defeat him.
Yup.
Wow.
That is literally what happened.
Damn. Oh, awesome, Bakura. Yeah, I have there's a bunny around where I live, and it's a Dutch bunny. If you can look that up if you want to. But it's not a wild bunny, yet it runs around with wild bunnies. So I'm attempting to capture it, bring it to the vet to see if it's okay, and then I'm probably gonna keep it. But I have to keep that a secret. I just don't know how my cats are gonna react to it. Granted, the bunny's actually larger than my cats are, so
That's a big ass bunny.
it's a
No
really
lie.
large bunny. That's our giant monster section for today, talking about giant bunnies.
Giant bunnies. There we go.
Yeah. Freaking A. They're adorable though. Anywho, kaiju,
Yes.
which are much
Kaiju.
larger.
Absolutely.
All right, so I think I guess for people who are interested in kaiju, Bunzilla.
Yes.
Uh,
Bun's the best
so-
bunny.
how did you like the new giant monster? How did you like the new kaiju and the newest Godzilla?
Oh, I can't even
The
remember
one
what
with
the hell
Walter
it's
White in it.
called. Right. Yeah, the American Godzilla, the one that didn't suck. Although
Yeah,
No,
not the one we talk about from 2001, which we're not even going to talk about that one.
I if you don't mind, Vane, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it just a little bit.
Okay, fine. You can talk about it a little bit.
It's all the good stuff about it,
Okay.
which is that Toho bought it. Like they bought the rights out of like that movie entirely, took out the God part of that movie and just rebranded it Zilla, and that's it. Like they were just like, no, it is not Godzilla. You may not have that name.
Were you talking about the one from 2001 where it had babies? Oh, okay, really? Oh, that was called Zilla, not Godzilla?
No. It was originally called Godzilla. Like it was originally released under the title Godzilla. But after that, after it was such a horrible, awful, disgusting display of Hollywood
Oh,
happening,
no way, really?
Toho bought it. The guys who originally created Godzilla.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So they bought it. They retitled it Zilla, and that was that.
Wow. That's one way to take care of your mistakes.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Oh, actually,
Buy the rights to it, rename it so it's not the name of the thing you created.
yup. That's how you do.
Yeah. Oh, do you have the Oh, that's the one you were talking about. Oh yeah, there's him in flight. Nice.
Yeah. It's Gamera flying around in his like saucer form, attacking one like the most notable enemy that he's ever fought, Gauss. But anyways, I digress.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, to get back to that whole like Godzilla thing, that's all I wanted to say about it. The one that didn't suck, the one that came out just like a couple of years ago, with Bryan Cranston, i.e. Walter White, was yeah, that was good. I liked it. It sort of got back to the like very original Godzilla mentality of being about like the people as opposed to about like the giant monster.
That's very true. Yeah, the original Godzilla that was first made was more about the people. It wasn't about the monster at all. It was about surviving a giant catastrophe and how basically humanity comes together and tries to defeat it under like overwhelming odds.
Yep.
But yeah.
But
you
yeah,
know,
so they kind of got back to those roots.
they kind
and
of they did.
As to what I thought of the monsters, I thought they were cool. I thought it was really interesting that they were like that. Like they basically said, oh yeah, so there's these two monsters and they are like a mating pair and like they have sexual dimorphism and that one of them has wings and the other one doesn't. And yeah, it was really cool. Like they really thought about that in terms of like a monster design.
Yeah, so the
and how
one
it
we're
would actually
talking
like.
about is this one right here. This is the newer Godzilla,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's interesting because it's actually more like a beefy Godzilla.
yeah.
I'm gonna show you the one from like, gosh, this must be like the fucking 1950s. Just take a look at this guy.
Man.
This one's good.
All right.
But yeah, so he changes sort of morphology from like this very sort of lanky, um, scaly guy to essentially who is like just this like he's almost a little bit square like, but he's got a lot more like girth to him. Like he's just stronger. He looks stronger.
Yeah, he's also the tallest Godzilla. Like
No way.
every like few decades they like up Godzilla's height. And this is the tallest Godzilla there's ever been.
No way.
Yeah, yeah. It's I can't remember the exact height.
Oh, actually, wait. There's
if I'm being, like, honest, I don't remember.
here's a good one. Here's a good one. Holy crap! I actually found like a nice. This actually shows the height of the original Godzillas and their different dates.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm after.
So yeah, the picture I originally sent was probably the one from like 1954, which was 50 meters tall.
Right.
And oh, there was one that was larger. Oh, but you know
yeah,
what? That
because
was like critical mass Godzilla or whatever.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because he grew out of control because he's just full of radioactivity.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, that stuff's good.
I'd say my favorite one though is I like the ones I like 1991. That was a good Godzilla era. I remember
Yep.
a lot of good Godzilla movies coming out at that time.
Yeah, no, that was a good one.
But yeah, you can see the difference between like the Godzillas, like the newest Godzilla from 2014. Like he has his like arms and his chest, and then he's got a lot of extra like mass on his back.
Yep. One of the I don't have a source for this. I just
I
sort
do
of
love how in this picture that they have like like people running as well. Like it's not just the height comparison; they also have people running away.
Yes, exactly.
Because you should be.
Okay. But yeah, again, I don't remember where I saw this information. But the for the 2014 Godzilla, the newest one, they did a lot of like animal research, and they had said something about how they were trying to like figure out like how big bipedal animals work, and they ended up looking a lot at like bears and how they fight in order to like really get the movements down correctly for the 2014 Godzilla.
I mean that does make a lot of sense,
Doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, not that bears can really stand on their feet for too long unless trained, but like, yeah, I mean, it's totally the same thing.
Right. But I mean, like, if you need a reference for a big, bulky, like bipedal animal like that, you can't really get too much better than a bear.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where they got some of the inspiration for like how they were doing Godzilla's animations for the most recent series.
So
and apparently they're doing a sequel sometime.
I know, I can't wait for that shit. Didn't the guy from Pacific Rim also agree to that or something?
Guillermo del Toro wanted to do a crossover between Pacific Rim and Godzilla, and they were apparently talking about it, but there's been no confirmation at this point. Like, we just don't know.
I just want to see Gypsy Kiss and Godzilla like take both their fists and like punch an enemy at the same time.
That'd be good.
That'd be awesome.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Um,
Friggin' have Gypsy Kiss like hold him up in a friggin' lock, and then Godzilla use like a friggin' plasma breath on him.
Oh, that would be great too. No, that would be wonderful. I would love that.
I would watch that.
I would watch that all day. Make it a GIF. I'm just gonna put it on my computer screen.
That'd be fantastic. Oh man. So they did change the lore in 2014 Godzilla.
Yeah.
The original Godzilla came to be because it was a sea iguana that was became heavily irradiated during nuclear testing.
Mm-hmm.
The one in 2014 said it came from a time period in the prehistoric era that was highly radioactive in the atmosphere.
Yes.
So the
That is a
change
big-
of made man to always has existed is an interesting turn of events.
Right. And yeah, they were aiming more at that like natural disaster thing as opposed to what the original Godzilla was about, which is about man-made disaster. If I can get like weird like philosophical film buff about it.
Go for it.
Right. No, and I'll probably weave in a little history because it's always important. So 1954 was the original like release for Gojira, which was only 9 years after the bombing of Hiroshima. So like it was
That was pretty topical for them to do that.
it really was for them to go ahead and be like, so there's this disaster movie we're making with nuclear war basically being the key thing that caused the problem.
Wow.
Like they were really hitting hard on that one. It would be similar to like having a like 10 years after it happened, like and I'm not trying to draw a similarity between what happened or what the United States military did to Japan during World War II and what happened in the early 2000s with the like Two Towers bombing. Or I'm sorry, Twin Towers terrorist attack, whatever they call it anyways. But like it would be similar in that way if somebody like a few years later had been like, you know what we should do? Terrorist movie.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it's that same concept, which is pretty harsh.
Yeah, like the guys who made Godzilla in that time frame were like, as far as I'm concerned, we're pretty fearless as far as that goes because they just weren't afraid to hit that like level of terror that like Japan felt about radioactivity and disasters and whatnot.
Middle Earth, not that Two
Yes.
Towers.
Different Two Towers. Sorry, Space Devo.
Also, yeah. So yeah, we're talking about the one with Walter White.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I thought that it's interesting that they basically in 2014 changed the history of Godzilla. And they've done that a few times during the series.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you know, there have been kaiju that have come from space. And then the kaiju that like have always existed and they were like ancient gods and like they change that every once in a while. And then of course there's the time frame where they're like, okay, so this one did exist. I don't care about its lore. We're gonna cover it in metal and call it mecha whatever.
Yeah, dude, I love mecha whatever. But no, man, like, so let's talk about like the heyday of Godzilla, the 1970s.
Oh,
that's when
yeah.
that's when everything was like fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, those were some great films.
They were, I mean, yes, as far as like B-movie like cult classics go, you can't really do much better than 1970s Godzilla. Oh man,
2014 Methzilla.
Methzilla. Yes.
Oh boy. Actually, I wonder, do they have like a
picture of Godzilla?
No. I mean, it probably exists.
That's what I'm doing.
But no, what I was wondering is if they have like a Godzilla, like almost like a discography, but for movies. Is that a thing?
Yeah. They should, anyways. Let me see if I can find one. It should be like
is it movieography?
Yeah, it'd be like a movieography.
Or there is just a franchise.
Or a filmography, I think is what the is what.
That would make a lot more sense. Oh, there's actually different periods. That's interesting.
Yeah.
There's the Showa period and the Heisei period. What's this one? That's rebooted with Return of Godzilla. That was the Heisei series. Sweet.
That would be the problem. I'm on images.
That's when they had Godzilla versus Biollante.
Oh yeah, that was a great series. I loved that.
Yeah.
That rebooted in like the mid to late 90s, right?
I love how on these pages it actually like has a link to like go to Amazon and buy this fucking movie.
Right. It's best.
Yeah, let me get a picture of this. Here's Biolante.
Oh God, Violante.
Freaking yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, they also had Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
Fuck yeah.
King Ghidorah is well. I don't know how they must have had a guy in a suit and then a puppeteer to make that work, because like here I'm gonna, as opposed to showing pictures, I actually have action figures.
Right.
So like here's King Ghidorah, right? And like, you know, he's got 3 heads, wings, tails. You know, like a dude standing in there, maybe he controls maybe 2 of the heads, but then there's wings and an extra head, or maybe he controlled the wings. It's tough to tell.
I mean, it depends on how flexible you are, right?
Yeah. I mean, there were times in the Godzilla movies where they definitely pulled some wrestling moves.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Which one of like the, I'm gonna call it the best, but that's not really what I mean.
Okay.
Like moves that I've seen Godzilla do was, I think, in the Monster Island movie, when he jumps up and like leans back on his tail and like swooshes across the entire screen.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
So nuts.
Even when I was little, I was like, "What is this bullshit?" Even before I knew what bullshit meant.
It was,
but I was also blown away. So I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely right. No, it's definitely some major bullshit going on there. But thanks for a hilarious scene.
The Millennium period, 1990 to 2004. That was Godzilla against Mechagodzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla versus Hedorah. Which one's? Oh gosh, Hedorah is the friggin' giant sludge monster.
Yup, sure is. Oh man, and that included the Final Wars, which as a movie just didn't make any fucking sense.
Yes.
Like it actually kind of made sense for like the first, I think, 30 to 45 minutes, but then it just jumps the shark in the worst possible way.
There's also Megaguirus, and I remember that movie. That was fantastic. They had some good effects for Megaguirus. That was the giant dragonfly. And that was one of those like the city's flooded. Not Godzilla versus Fedora. Although I can imagine that just dun 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 dun, and then Milady.
And now see Prohibition, man.
Yes.
Oh man. So
good. And then they have Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, giant monsters all out attack, which
Jesus Christ.
is one title actually. I'm not fucking with you.
Holy crap! I'm gonna click that.
I hope the plot is like it's a clusterfuck of giant monsters beating each other to death,
dude.
Because that's what it sounds like.
Right.
Oh, is this when they bought Bagaron in? And I'm like, Bagaron is the most useless shit in the world. It is. It is.
I mean, probably.
Yes. Bagaron is so useless. Holy shit.
Right.
He's just like a little weird dude with like little weird ears, and he's got a horn on his head, and he walks on all fours.
Yeah.
What a weird dude. Yeah. Ooh, I just found... Is this just species Kaiju? Can I get like a Kaiju link?
Yeah, probably.
Ooh. Sweet. Oh my gosh, it lists all of them. Here, I'm gonna just... Here's the wiki article for Kaiju.
Oh, hey, here we go. All the different like film brands as well. Japanese, American, British, Thailand, Danish. I didn't know the Danes had
Oh, well, holy shit.
Like, Kaiju.
If you want to talk about a fucking great movie, Troll Hunter.
Oh. Okay, let me rephrase. Fuck yeah.
That is a fantastic movie. Holy shit.
So Troll Hunter, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's on Netflix if you haven't.
It's a giant monster. I'll consider it.
Go watch it now.
Yeah, let me find a Netflix link so like you guys don't miss out on that because holy shit, that is such a good movie. Holy shit.
All right, guys. Once again, Troll Hunter. Go watch it. It's foreign. It's subbed. Doesn't matter. It's fucking wonderful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there it is. All right, here is the Netflix link. There you go. You can thank me later.
On fire out here, man.
Oh, did I rate that, or is it just naturally at 5 stars? Because
I mean, you probably rated it.
damn, but no, it's a great movie. I mean, it's basically a movie about a film crew that wants to explore the lore of trolls. And what they don't realize is that they're actually fucking real, and they meet like some hardcore troll hunter, and then shit goes real awry when they actually start meeting them.
The hilarious thing is that guy is actually like a government sponsored like agent. Like he's not like a secret agent. It's not glamorous. It's like he's like part of like the highway cleanup department, except for trolls. And he's like, this job is the shittiest thing ever. I'm gonna like help you guys make your documentary because I want to stick it to the man for making my job so shitty.
Yeah.
And like occasionally like dudes in black Escalades show up and like are like trying to cover shit up. It's really funny.
Yeah, because they want to silence the film crew.
Absolutely.
Because it's this total government like there are trolls, but we're trying to keep the public from knowing.
Right.
And I love the parts at the end, like, why is there power lines going in a circle around this mountain?
Right? It's like, guys, the power lines don't go anywhere. It's a fence. No, man, I totally forgot about that. Thank you, Ving. I'm gonna have to rewatch Troll Hunter real soon.
It's so good. It's such a good movie.
It is so good.
I'll have to check it out, Space Devo. And thanks, Bakor.
Speaking of another like kaiju movie that doesn't necessarily like seem like a kaiju movie immediately, Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Like it's about a giant monster attack, but like it's totally not about the giant monster attack.
It is, yeah. And from the perspective, like there are two things I really like about that movie, and that's even if you're not with the monster, there's still something monstrous going on.
Right. Oh man, especially when it comes to those like what do the fans call it? They're like these monster fleas. They're the little monsters that are in the subway at some point. Holy Christ, those things are terrifying.
Yeah, they are.
Like not even because like their like morphology is weird and alien and because they're scary looking, but because of like what they do. No spoilers, but like something awful happens when you come in contact with them, and they're horrifying.
I mean, that's true. That I was gonna say the two things I like, and then the two things I don't like about this movie, which is holy shit. Can you give someone who does not have like epilepsy or Tourette's the camera? Because holy fucking shit.
No. The answer is no.
God damn.
Oh, come on, Space Diva. That's a little harsh. It wasn't good seeing them die necessarily. I mean, it may have been entertaining, but it certainly wasn't good.
I just wish there's some movies I wish they would like, because there's some movies that need of the first person camera.
Oh, right.
Like I haven't seen it, but I assume the Blair Witch Project needed the camera to be like that.
It didn't have to be like that, but it does sort of like heighten the like found film like nature of the movie to have it done like that. It wouldn't have had necessarily the same impact, right? But it was also like the first movie that I recall that really does that. This like, oh yeah, this is not only is this based on like real mythology from this area, we're gonna pretend like this actually happened to people.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a thing, right?
But yeah, so I wish there were sometimes they would redo movies.
No, yeah, I hear that.
Cameras.
Right. I mean, there's Paranormal Activity, which was not done with, it was done with handheld cameras, but was not done with cameras being held in hands.
Okay.
And like, I talk shit about Paranormal Activity all the fucking time. Like, I hate their franchise. I think it's stupid. Their mythology keeps getting more and more convoluted. Like, God, I hate that set of movies. But I will say this: the very first one, I laughed at it the entire time. I was like, this is so bullshit the entire way through. The last like 10 minutes is total payoff. Like, it goes. It like, it doesn't pull the punch at the end. It just says, yep, this is happening now. And I was just like, holy Christ. That's something. And yeah, if you haven't seen it, Ving, I don't suggest it for you because you don't really like to be scared.
Yeah, that's a whole movie franchise I haven't watched at all, and I don't plan to.
Oh, God. Yeah, Bakura Doom was pretty bad. I mean, yeah. But, like, at the same time, it's not the worst movie ever. There are definitely worse movies. I think The Rock made Doom better, so...
I mean, he can usually make stuff better.
The Rock can typically make things better, not because he's actually a good actor,
but because he's The Rock.
He's The Rock.
Do you know what? Like, Space Diva did bring up something earlier that I'm kind of interested in. Sure. And that's like, you know, he talked about, you know, the stupid 20-year-olds in Cloverfield.
Right.
Nowadays, there'd be some interesting stuff going on because of, like, social media. Like, there'd be, like, basically the storm chasers of Kaiju that would want to get the best picture so that they'd get the most views on YouTube and shit.
Oh, dude, that'd be cool. Like, that'd be an awesome game. I'd play that.
Like, just, yeah, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome.
Wait, Trash Can Carla, what?
Why does that name ring a bell?
Well, Trash Can Carla is the, in Fallout 4. Oh, did she accidentally die in, that can happen. Yeah.
Right.
Rip Trash Can Carla.
Oh well. But yeah.
They've got some kaiju in Fallout 4.
Yeah. I mean, abominations, those are the huge, tall super mutants, right?
Yeah, the super... Yeah, I forget what they're called.
Okay.
Are they like behemoths?
Behemoths. Those are the ones I'm thinking of, likely. The ones that are like taller than buildings. Yeah, those are like small kaiju.
And the Mylar queens.
Oh yeah, no, those definitely count.
Are your cats just going nuts right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, my town alarm's going off.
Oh, good.
But you know, that's the thing I'd expect to hear during a kaiju attack.
No, absolutely. That's absolutely fitting for this particular situation.
Yes. Of course, I wouldn't fucking know, and I get my house trampled because it goes off every fucking week.
Dude, like more than once a week. Are you kidding? There was like a time earlier this year when it was basically every day. And I remember because I tuned in every day.
Was it during, like, This Is the Police?
Yeah, I think it was, which was also kind of fitting.
It was pretty fitting for that, too.
Oh, man. You know what, Space Devo? You're right. Doom could have used some kaiju.
I mean, it's one of these things where kaijus, depending on what they're like, aren't really a cop-out.
No.
Like, pretty much giant monsters can improve most anything.
I agree. I 100% agree.
I can't think of a situation where there was a giant creature and the situation got significantly more dumb.
There.
Okay, I want to hear it.
There are some situations in which having suddenly a giant monster attack wouldn't make a goddamn bit of sense. TV shows specifically that I can think of are like political dramas, like West Wing.
No, I'm not talking about. Well, I mean, okay, so I mean, but holy shit, imagine a West Wing episode where fucking of all of a sudden kaiju attack and they have to deal with all the political bullshit.
I mean, pardon my clock. Um, but no, like, I want to say you're wrong. I really, really do.
I mean, driving
like,
Miss Daisy would be awesome with a kaiju.
Okay. If they set it up properly, if there was like some illusion earlier in like the series, and then like it came up eventually, I would be totally cool with it. But if it was just like out of the blue, by the way, Mr. President, there's a giant monster attacking.
No, there's definitely bad ways to introduce kaiju.
Right. But yeah, no, if kaiju is something that you want to include and you just sort of like introduce it like properly, yeah, that's fine, right?
you know what it is, Space Devo, is it's really hard to build a wall in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah. I mean, specifically around the entire Pacific coast. It's a big fucking ocean,
Plus,
guys.
we're talking about kaiju, so you need one fucking hell of a wall.
It didn't work in Pacific Rim. Let's be fair. They built a 50-story tall wall, and it didn't work.
So obviously, the next step is we need to have
Build
giant
robots
mechs.
and fight them.
There we go.
Or if we could pull a Fallout 4 and catch them, and then train them to fight other kaiju.
There you go. Yeah, I think so. Also, let's talk about Pacific Rim, because holy shit.
Okay, sure.
I loved that they had Ron Perlman.
Right.
And like his whole business was he sells kaiju related items like the giant fucking fleas.
Oh yeah, no, that was great, right? Now I want to make a small edit to the last thing that you said, Bing. You said, I love that they have Ron Perlman, and I just want that to be, I love Ron Perlman.
I mean, I love Ron Perlman.
Right.
There was a movie where he was a transvestite. That actually made the movie a little bit worth it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have watched the movie at all. But it was worth it to see Ron Perlman as a transvestite.
Right.
Because he's Ron fucking Perlman.
Ron fuck mothering Perlman.
There was also one where Nicolas Cage and Ron Perlman were in the same movie.
Fucking Nicolas Cage.
Oh shit.
There's nothing wrong with Nicolas Cage, but I hate him.
there's a certain love in me for people that can be that weird and still successfully continue to get movies based on how weird they are.
Right. Space Devo. Yes, I have. I've definitely seen The Strain. Yeah, I have seen. Well, let me rephrase. I've seen season 1 of The Strain, and I didn't feel compelled to watch season 2, but I liked what I was seeing.
Oh, hey George. Yeah, this is basically on Thursdays. We start at with the new time's 5:15 because 5 cuts it close for me. But 5:15 we have a talk show. Last week we talked about Pokemon. This week we're talking about Kaiju and Godzilla and Pacific Rim and all that stuff.
Right. Giant monsters in general.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So here's one for you, Ving. This might actually sort of swing a little bit more into the general topic for your regular stream. Have you ever run into a kaiju-esque monster in any of the video games that you've played? And is there one that you thought was best?
In any of the games I play, a kaiju-like monster.
Yeah.
It's tough because most of the time in the video games that I play, really the kaiju-esque monsters are just bigger versions of smaller monsters.
Right.
So I've had epic battles with giant minotaurs, but they're just giant minotaurs. So there hasn't really been one that's filled that kaiju position.
Right.
That's really taken advantage of their size and used it and been an epic battle because of it.
Right.
I've got to say, one thing that does do that is Dark Souls.
Okay.
Dark Souls
Yeah.
definitely takes advantage of that. You're fighting a big ass creature and you got to figure out how to. Oh, actually, Shadow of the fucking Colossus.
Fuck
Holy
yeah.
shit.
I was hoping you were
Now
going there.
that is a game that takes advantage of the fact that you're fighting a giant creature and you've got to figure out how to use its size against it.
Yes. Oh
Holy
god,
shit.
I love that game.
I
I
I
just
have not, like, I don't have like the stuff to play it, but I've watched at least 3 playthroughs fully.
dude, if and when you ever show up at our place again, I've got Shadow of the Colossus and I have a system for you to play it on.
Freaking
So,
I'm hoping they make a second one.
the Last Guardian just came out and I own it and I've been playing it and it's fun.
Nice.
The reason why that's important is because the Last Guardian is like the spiritual successor in the like Ico Shadow of Colossus line of games that
Oh, really?
yeah. Um so yes.
Yes.
It's not so much about like fighting giant monsters in this version, or rather in this continuation of the story. It's about like befriending one of the giant monsters and letting it help you like make your way home, basically. So it's sort of like the opposite of what you do in Shadow of the Colossus.
Hmm. Interesting.
It's super cool. Like as you like continue through the game, you like the monster like levels up, and it like it doesn't actually like literally gain levels, but it gets smarter, and like you communicate with it better, and it lets you solve more complex puzzles. It's really interesting.
Cool. So it's not like you leveling up, it's you leveling up your giant monster who helps you through puzzles.
Sort of. The more puzzles you guys face together, the smarter it becomes, and the easier it is to get through the remaining puzzles. But the puzzles keep getting more and more complex, so it's like this weird balancing act where the game is like trying to make the monster smart enough for you to advance.
Interesting. Okay.
And like yeah, it's super cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
Wow, really? You could pre-order Last Guardian in 2008?
Oh yeah, I did.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that the
No,
first pre-order ever?
no.
Like, to me, that
No.
sounds like the first pre-order of all time. Like
Nah.
before
You could,
before Minecraft, before all that stuff.
no, it's definitely not the first game to be
I
pre-ordered.
feel like that's
But
the
it
one where you actually have to go see an investor, and that's how old it was.
I mean, Amazon cut me a nice deal on it, so it was like I got it was like I invested in it early and got a discount, sort of.
Space Hulk Deathwing. Let me check that out. I've not heard of that. Unfortunately, I need to find a way to get the internet working. But for
So-
some reason, like, I tried to get like the internet window working, it just turns my whole screen blank. Oh, that looks
Yeah, no,
interesting.
even I'm not really sure, George. Like I don't think I've actually heard of the of that specific bit of 40K.
Interesting. But yeah, the Elder Scrolls, like, I mean, I guess the closest thing they have to a kaiju in their series is like a dragon,
Right.
and I guess giants.
Right. I was thinking about that too. Like what exactly do you call, like, okay, so like let's think about that for a second. Like
Okay,
what do you qualify a kaiju as, right? Because we were talking earlier that like the trolls in Troll Hunter might qualify, at least some of them.
yes, and I feel like it is definitely like a height thing.
Okay. Okay. So
I
it's
mean,
like
Space
just
Diva,
based
you're
on
right.
how-
Dagother did have a giant brass mech. You are right about that. You didn't actually fight it, but yes, there was actually a fight where you had to kill basically a Gundam.
I mean, fair. But giant robots are not kaiju.
They're also, yes, also, Skyrim dragons are technically wyverns. They're not dragons.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
Specific to traditional lore. Now, of course, we're talking Elder Scrolls lore, which makes its whole other thing. If that's a dragon to Skyrim, then fucking, I don't know. If you add 2 other sets of legs, I don't know what the fuck they call it.
Right.
That's
Well,
a
then they call it wyvern.
Grand Drake. I don't know. What's the difference between a drake and a dragon?
Drakes, generally you call a young dragon a drake. It's just sort of like an age thing. Like instead of a so like for insects you call like little insects like grubs or nymphs or whatever. But like I'm yeah, kittens, cats, puppies, dogs kind of thing.
I'm actually going to look up drakes versus dragons.
Sure. That makes sense. But yeah, I'm reasonably certain it's an age thing.
Oh, here's a huge thing. Here we go. Let's see. So drakes are smaller than dragons. They still fly, breathe fire, but have no magical abilities.
Ah, interesting.
And drakes are apparently supposed to be evil.
Just inherently.
Just inherently, they're supposed to be evil.
Fair.
Let's see. And this is according to Tales from the Coast, Sword Coast, Magic the Gathering, that sort of stuff.
Right.
So of course, they have a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's definitely like Wizards of the Coast, like Dungeons and Dragons type thing.
Yeah. And worms and wyverns are more snake-like, live in caves and mountains, protecting loot.
Right. I mean, so the way I've always thought of that is like you've got a worm, and that's WURM.
Yes.
And that is like literally just giant fucking worm, probably carnivorous, usually living in some extreme terrain. Then you've got worms, which are WYRM, which are the like long snake dragons with the wings. You got wyverns, which we've already talked about, dragons, which are traditional. But yeah, like there's all kinds of like classification of giant flying magical like reptiles.
Oh, really? You're not a fan of the 2 extra legs space? I mean, if you think about it, like morphologic wise, if we're talking like a wyvern versus a dragon, like a dragon basically has 6 limbs.
Yeah.
So it's significantly more complicated.
Yeah.
Than
like,
say, yeah.
The 2 hind legs, like the bat structure of dragons that has been like really popular of recent years, like ultimately makes more sense anatomically.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just the way it is, because like having the evolutionary path take you in such a way that you get more limbs is so much more complicated than like
they're basically flying centaurs. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, sort of, yeah.
Which, I mean, you know, if you wanna go like off the wall, in a land of things where things can be centaurs, sure, they can be 4-legged dragons. But no, I agree. Yeah.
What about Chinese dragons?
I mean, Chinese dragons are cool.
I mean, that's true.
They don't even have wings. They just have 4 legs, and they just have inherent magic that allows them to fly.
Yeah. That's absolutely true. Like, and it's, yeah, and that's really where you start branching into like that whole dragons are magic thing, right?
Yeah.
Because Chinese dragons don't have a way to fly, but they still manage to do so. So like, yeah, I think that is like really where you get to when you start talking about like dragons have magic powers.
And I agree, Space Devo. I agree. There's a lot of creatures that have wings and other limbs that will sometimes put like wings above the shoulder blades and basically have like extra like back muscles just to have wings. It's like they're trying too hard. It makes more sense in between the arms and the legs.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely.
I hear that.
But yeah, I think the Elder Scrolls could use a kaiju. Like a real one.
Right.
I mean, there is, what's his name? The freaking guy I couldn't defeat in my game. Karstag.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's just a normal, like, and that's that weird thing. What's the difference between, like, just a big mythical creature and a kaiju?
Right. I think ultimately it has something to do with like and this is probably getting like a little bit on the like philosophical side. I think it has something to do with like the emotion inspired by the creature. Like if it inspires terror, it's probably a kaiju.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, a lot of these, like, you know, giants and stuff, like, there'll be, like, little warnings here and there. But it's not like freaking Godzilla killed, like, how many friggin' people?
The hundreds of thousands, millions.
Yeah. Maybe the lone giant, like, a Khajiit caravan went by.
Right.
And met their end.
Right.
And they were dumb, so it's their fault.
Like, maybe if there was a particularly big and particularly ruthless giant in Skyrim, or any of like the Elder Scrolls like countries or like continents where giants would be like appropriate to find, you would possibly think that they were like kaiju because of like the emotional response you would get from it. But like, yeah, like they've got like early warning systems for Godzilla in like Japan. Like they've forecast like his path. Like it's like he's a fucking hurricane, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, basically they look at seismic activity and radiation in order to find out where Godzilla is.
Right, and then they try to like plot paths based on like his previous like meanderings through the Japanese countryside and all that stuff. Like or based on where the other giant monster is, because they're like, yep, he's cutting a path directly towards the other giant monster we've got attacking.
I would love to see like a meteorological like they friggin' show like the coast and it's like, well, coming up to the northwest. But
dude, they do that. They do that in, like,
is Godzilla, but he's gonna be influencing his path based on the trajectory of King Ghidorah.
It's so good. No, that would be awesome. I'd love to see that. That'd be like a really funny like comedy sketch.
Yeah. But no, yeah,
Just
Space
like,
Steve, that I was thinking that in my head was the vampire lords in Skyrim. Technically, the wings come from arms under the shoulders, but they extend over, and it's, you know, they're just awkward in general.
yeah, I've seen.
There's a good way to do wings, and there's a bad way to do wings. That they look forced put on a creature as opposed to naturally occurring.
Right. No, it's absolutely true. So, okay, we had to get there eventually, Ving. What's like, in your opinion, the absolute worst kaiju ever?
Absolute worst kaiju.
Like, what's the shittiest one?
There are some really fucking funny ones, I will tell you that. Holy shit.
Right.
King Caesar is a hilarious one.
I don't
if
remember
I can
King
find
Caesar.
him. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit. He's basically some weird kung fu mystical. I don't even know what the hell to call this thing. Here, I'll just post a picture. This is honestly the weirdest kaiju this is from the Godzilla series. This is King Kaisar Caesar. It's like if they took the dog from the Neverending Story and gave him a black belt. That's what he'd turn into.
Yes. He's supposed to be like a Chinese temple dog, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man.
Zilla Doge.
Yes, basically.
I mean, that's a weird one, but no, yeah, I think
and like I remember that it was in the 1970s Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla movie, and like, yeah, no, they like had to do like the summoning ritual, and like
I love when they have to do summoning rituals. It's the best.
It's almost as good as when they summon Mothra. I love summoning Mothra. The song is great.
Mothra, da, da, da. It is the best though.
It is pretty good. but yeah, like that was actually it was a hilarious one. That was
Okay.
like I like the fights and I love Mechagodzilla. Like he's one of my favorites, but
Okay, it's this guy. It's this guy.
this guy's the worst.
This guy. It's Baragon. Now he was integral to a part of the story because he was one of like the ancient guardians or some shit. But gosh, he's like he looks like an overweight lizard hamster.
Pop that in chat, man.
This is the worst one ever.
Oh God, you're right. Ugh.
he's just an overweight hamster.
Ugh, it's so bad. Yeah, just no.
Oh, did you thuggy? Nice.
Firmly on no for that one.
All right, what about yours? What's your least liked kaiju then?
I personally did not like I personally didn't like Hedorah, the sludge monster in the Godzilla movie. Like, yeah, I get, like, in retrospect, I understand. It's like, oh, you shouldn't pollute things. It's bad. Like, I'm just like, go fuck yourselves.
I mean, you're right. I'm gonna. That one actually is too badass to represent him because it's adding a little extra flair that didn't exist previously.
Right. Like,
Here,
no,
here's a nice picture.
It's like a trash bag that they put like some goop on.
Yeah, here's Hedorah. That is, like if I wasn't gonna say Bagaron, I would have said Hedorah too.
Right.
Now, granted, he has an evolutionary chain, which is pretty cool. You don't get evolutionary chains too often in the Godzilla series.
Nope, sure don't.
I mean that and Destroya is a hell of a creature.
Oh man, Destroya. I love Destroya. Destroya is awesome.
Here, let me get Destroya.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I forgot you had the figure.
I mean, I also have Hedorah, too.
Right, I mean...
Watch out, you're polluting too much.
Oh, no!
And then here's Destroya.
Destroya. I like some of his smaller forms even more than, like, his final form, though.
No, I understand that.
Like, I really like the like, flying, like stingray thing that they did.
Yeah,
that was super cool. That might be my favorite. But I also liked when there were like the like giant robot size, or not giant robot, but like giant mech suit sized ones, and there were like fuckloads of them in that mall. That was also super cool.
Yeah. Now I do have to say my second favorite of all time, just for utter ridiculousness,
yes,
is frickin' Gigan.
Oh fuck yeah, Gigan.
Gigan. Okay.
He's got.
Well, this is Mecha Gigan technically.
Right.
But first of all, he's a giant radioactive chicken, basically. From space, with scythes for hands, and in the original version, this is a rotary saw on his stomach, where he basically goes and like friggin' like slices you up as he like flies over you.
It was so good.
Here, let me find the original version.
Oh man, it was so good, but so bad.
No, but like just for utter ridiculousness, like it's a fucking radioactive chicken with sides and a fucking rotary saw.
No, Devo. Gigan does not need a baseball bat.
It's like.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Yeah, with his one single eye. Yeah.
And he shoots laser. Oh, by the way, I do have Godzilla fighting games for the Wii and for the GameCube.
Yes. So good.
Yeah.
Destroy All Monsters?
I've just let's see. I'm not sure if I have them here. I have Yeah, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee.
There we go.
And that's the one for the GameCube.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
I remember playing that. That was a lot of fun.
That's called Dark Legacy. The other one's somewhere else.
Bakura. They came up with Gigan and a lot of like the really ridiculous ones in the 1970s. So the answer is so high.
Yes.
Like no, literally, they were probably the highest at the time when they were doing the 1970s Godzillas.
And not just normal weed, Japanese weed.
Japanese weed, it's different.
Oh wait, I gotta put this in here because that's just what the fuck. Oh, thanks for the follow. Oh gosh, why isn't my follow thing going up?
Oh no!
Oh no. Well, thank you for the follow. Jobio, thank you. Awesome, thank you. I have to get my follower thing up and running again. I don't know why it didn't work here.
It made the sound effect.
It made the sound effect, it just didn't show up. We've been having some weird technical issues.
That is true. It like we really need to like figure out what's going on with
we need to
this.
dedicate some separate time to
Yeah,
this, as
for
opposed
sure.
to just 15 minutes before. And
Trying to figure out why isn't it working.
but that's how I roll, and I always find things to be more exciting that way.
That's true. Oh man.
Oh man. Oh, but here, I know. So yeah, I do have more time recently, so I'm actually pretty stoked about getting some. Can what?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can
it.
read chat. Yeah. All right, check this out. I just found this picture, and I think it's beautiful.
Oh my god,
Never before has a kaiju looked that good in a dress.
that's amazing. That is glory to behold. I might set that as my desktop background.
Oh my goodness. And how's it going, Jabo? Awesome. Friggin' A.
Dude. I don't know, man. So
All right.
yeah, so like I don't know. The only
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't have a way to broadcast it. You'd have to click that link, unfortunately. I have to figure out a way to get that working.
right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a whole bunch of like weird shit in like generally speaking. In like involved in kaiju. And like a recent example is like Pacific Rim. We talked about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But like just like the weird shit that happens with some of those like creatures that are on screen in in that movie, like like suddenly having wings, like the one like the one like winged monster like being pregnant, like that was weird. That was
Yeah.
definitely weird.
But that's pretty cool. I mean, I think that's the first time we've ever seen a kaiju actually. I don't know. We've seen it a few times in the past, but it's not too often you see a kaiju basically like reproducing and stuff like that. And the threat is not just there's a giant monster and it's having kids.
Right. And like yeah, because like usually the like oh yeah, like this giant monster is pregnant is like a good thing. Like it usually happens in Mothra movies, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Mothra is laying an egg is like or like Mothra's eggs have just hatched, and like that's great because that means that there's gonna be little Mothras again. Like is usually like a happy thing. But yeah, no, like you're probably right. The first time I've ever seen giant monsters having babies being a bad thing is definitely Pacific Rim.
Yeah. There was one Godzilla movie where they basically had a giant. It was like a giant dragonfly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that had the same sort of similar thing.
Right. I think they did that in a Gamera movie too,
Oh yeah.
where there were where there was like a giant. I think it was like a giant dragonfly type deal, and I think it had. I can't really remember. I'm probably gonna leave that alone. I think it happened in a Godzilla
I know.
movie.
Sometimes you've seen a little bit too many kaiju movies, and they all sort of just like go together.
Just to blend a little bit. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
can't really remember.
What
Whatever.
series was I watching?
It was really late.
Oh, totally.
Oh, although like we mentioned it earlier and we just completely forgot about it. Giant movies or giant monster movies in which monsters have babies and it's bad. Zilla 2000 something or other.
We're not talking
Or
about that, though.
1999, my bad. 99. With Matthew Broderick or whatever. Fuck that movie.
Yeah, we're not talking about that movie.
That's why we forgot, because it's so awful. But yeah, no, like, but to get sort of like back on track to that whole thing, like there's like giant monsters having weird abilities because that's just what you fucking do is like, I don't know, it's like a really awesome time honored tradition. I feel like it's hard to pull that shit off and make it like believable in anything that's not a movie.
What do you mean by that, though?
Like, so if somebody, okay, so say you're playing Dark Souls.
Okay.
And there's a giant monster that you're trying to fight, and like it just suddenly has a rotary saw that like erupts out of its chest and kills you for no reason.
I'd probably rage quit and burn whatever device I was playing on.
Yeah. But like I feel like many people would do that same thing. They'd just be like, what the fuck was that? Like if it makes sense, I feel like people would like buy it a little bit more. But when it doesn't have any real logical explanation, people are just like, fuck this shit.
I mean, granted, I will say a lot of the Godzilla things is like it's from space,
Yes.
radiation, humans, crazy science.
Bakura, we don't talk about that.
Wait, what?
It said Dragon Ball Evolution.
I haven't watched it.
That's why we don't talk about it. That's the reason, not anything else.
Oh boy.
But no, so
But yeah, so they come up with explanations, but yeah. You need a good one.
Yeah. And like in order for like an interactive media to like have that thing, it's sort of like you need some kind of explanation. Usually there's like a subtle visual cue, right? Like like Gigan has like those like saw blades in his chest, right? Like you can kind of see how maybe they could rotate.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense, but like you can kind of see how maybe that would happen. But like suddenly it just shoots lightning out of its face is a thing that could happen in a kaiju movie at any moment.
No, totally, yeah. Well, it totally does, and it's usually people don't know when it's about to happen either. Usually like, you know, the people, unless, you know, they're somehow under the effects or so like under the capture of like aliens, are like, you should see their hyper beam, and then like,
and they're like, the what?
The
And
what?
then
Yeah.
Doing the hyper beam.
But sometimes there's absolutely no warning at all, and then you're like, well, shit, this got real. I guess Godzilla's gonna have to use his plasma breath, which you've been yelling at him to do for like the past 15 minutes.
All right. So good. Or even better is, oh man, I just lost it. Oh no, yeah, because like talking about like oh, it suddenly has saw blades, or like it shoots lasers out of its face, or like we were talking about with Gamera earlier, like Baragon, he just has a fucking like razor rainbow that flies out of his back. I mean, shit doesn't make any sense.
No, yeah, totally. It's magic, science.
It's absolutely magic.
That's what it comes down to. It's either magic or science.
Somebody thought this would look cool on film. That's why it happened.
That's why it happened. Then they had to come up with an explanation.
Yup.
Yeah.
Right. No, man. Like it's the level of freedom that like the kaiju sort of like like the kaiju film niche like fills and lets you sort of have, it is like, it's super awesome.
It is cool because you could go as far as like ancient lore to like go as from ancient lore to we fucking made this thing from science, right?
Right. Like, and it's not even like it's from science. It's like from science we don't understand because we found alien ancient ruins.
Giorgio.
My hero.
Aliens!
Dude, I would absolutely watch a kaiju movie that
Features
Giorgio.
Giorgio? Holy shit. That'd be amazing. That'd be fucking sweet. So we went to our experts. Wait, here's Giorgio. It's aliens. Well, there you go, folks. It's aliens.
There you go, folks. That's all you need to know. It's aliens. Oh man, so good. But like, even Pacific Rim takes it one step further than like space aliens. They're like dimensional aliens.
Oh,
like it's ridiculous.
Whenever you open a fucking dimensional rift, shit goes down.
Don't go through it. Just close it immediately and walk away. Feel glad that you did it, and don't explore it.
No.
Let's talk about Stranger Things for a second, right? Dimensional rifts.
Oh gosh, maybe we should save Dimensional Rift for its own series.
Right.
Fucking A.
Holy crap, dude.
I mean, actually, one of our talk shows could be about Elder
Giorgio.
Secrets, Dimensional Rifts, and Dark Promises. I feel like that'd be a fun one.
Sure, we can do that. Let's make that a creative one. That'd be even better.
How to fool pit demons.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
you know what? You're right, Space Devo. I come from the magical perspective, and then when people go ahead and they say, well, this zombie werewolf vampire is a virus, I do get a little pissed off by that.
Yeah. I also agree with that. Like, I'm not really a fan of it must be a virus because
No.
like it's such a lame cop out for trying to like
Make it
things
modern and not say
Yeah.
it's magic. Yeah.
right.
Now,
I mean, why
granted, I will say this. Like, it doesn't make sense for vampires and werewolves. I feel like they have to be magic. It makes no sense to have them really be... They can call it, like, a royal disease or whatever. But, like,
Right.
it's magic, damn it.
Right, for real.
There is a difference between the magic zombie and the virus zombie.
That is true.
That has two very different terrifying things about it.
Correct. Like, because you got like voodoo zombies, which is like really what you're talking about when you're talking zombies, right?
Yeah.
Like it's magically raised from the dead, undead zombie people, and then there's like virus zombies, which are typically like really fast
Yeah.
and like act like disease vectors. They just spew whatever it is that makes them sick all over everything they can, and like. Yeah, their only job is to spread as fast as possible and to like kill as many people along the way as possible. But like the weird thing about that is like I actually buy those types of zombies as like their own entity because like there's the stuff in nature that does that. There's like fungal parasites that like infect ants in the Amazon or some shit that like
yeah, and that's where games like The Last of Us,
right.
that had the science aspect to zombies, and I thought they did it very, very well. But
I
you're
think so.
right, you're right. Either way, like, if you have a creature and it's magic, it better be steeped in a magical landscape to make some sense.
Right.
If it's modern day and it's, you know, a friggin' zombie, werewolf, vampire, whatever, there better be some really rock solid science behind it,
Right. No, absolutely.
or else it doesn't make any sense.
Nah, like you can kind of get away a little bit with like hinting at science like causing like zombies and vampires and shit, but you can't actually like try to give a scientific explanation. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, the best I can do is, like, you know, virus zombies that, you know, they have those things in the real world where they have sort of the neurological like takeover from certain fungi and parasites and that sort of thing. Like werewolves, some sort of like hyper rabies, like, and that's like even that's like a stretch.
I mean, like you could maybe
And maybe that's like the werewolf that like they don't even change into werewolves, but they call them wolves or something, you know.
Like that's the thing. Like the like one of the key hallmarks about werewolves is that they transform back and forth, right? That shit's not real. Like that's not science just at all. Like unless there was okay, let me rephrase that. Unless there was some kind of like molting stage, but that doesn't even make any sense either. Like
I mean, that would be fucking cool though. Like the molting stage for a werewolf.
Yeah, yeah. Like you go into a pupal stage, you emerge a werewolf, and then you shed your final layer of flesh, and you come back out a smaller person, right? Like maybe that's kind of science-y.
And then you have to.
But like, it doesn't make any goddamn
cool,
sense.
How fucking cool would it be, right? You're a werewolf, right? So
Sure.
you have to go hunting at night, and you have to eat enough people, or else you actually shrink in size. Because if you haven't consumed enough human flesh, then you've actually lost from that metamorphosis.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. See, that would be hilarious. But no, like the was I going with vampires? I think I was I was going with werewolves. Like you could maybe make an argument for some kind of weird virus type thing that like triggers it triggers some kind of like genetic mutation that makes you turn into like a wolf, right? The turning back into a human doesn't make sense from a viral perspective. Like you just want to turn into a vector and that's it.
Yeah, because one of the problems with viruses is most of them don't know when to stop.
Correct. Well, because that's like the viral imperative a lot like
is
people have,
keep on reproducing. Yeah. Now, if viruses became smart, they'd realize, why don't we keep this guy alive for a little bit longer, and then ride it out smooth.
Let's not talk about if viruses were smart, because that's really a terrifying place to go.
It is.
I'm glad they don't have brains. I'm glad they just have one directive. But yeah, like, okay, so here's like a weird thing. What do you think, Bing? Do you think it would be? Do you think that it would be kind of cool if there was like a werewolf / vampire mutation thing for kaiju, so that you just like turn into a giant monster?
I mean, we're talking some extreme bullshit science,
right?
Or the coolest fucking magic ever.
That's where I'm going with this.
Okay,
one.
coolest fucking magic ever. Turn into a kaiju.
Yeah. Like, it's got to be a ritual. It's got to have to be, like, forbidden.
Okay, good. Because imagine, right, if you were, like, some sort of teen superhero kaiju, right? That was, during the day, he's a football player, but when crime calls. But, like, no, seriously, like, if he did it at the wrong place, he would, like, kill all of his family.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I almost did this in like a weird kind of way with our superhero game, right? Like Lillian, she kind of turned into a small scale kaiju.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just like, yeah, magic.
No, we're talking magic. Yeah, we're not talking. Yeah, we're going way off the bullshit scale here.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Devo. Like it's not even a question of like, where do you get all this extra like anything from? It's just, fuck it. It is just crazy magic, and that's that.
Yeah.
Oh, wizard did it.
Some motherfucker wizard did it. I'd like to meet these wizards who always get blamed for this shit, right? Who's that? I hope it's different, because if it's one wizard who does all this shit, imagine you're just some fucking chaos wizard who just does all this bullshit all the time.
Okay, so being, holy shit, that would be hilarious. But no, like, not that.
Oh man, I just noticed there's a QR code on my beer, and I could do that for the Pokemon.
Oh, that would be amazing. Mine doesn't have one. Bollocks. Anyways. So like, what was I even gonna say? Something about bullshit magic. The science, or the one magician who like keeps doing all the crazy shit. Like, dude, if it was just one guy.
Are you talking about a fucking Voltron? Like 6 people formed together into a friggin'. Oh my gosh, that'd be disturbing. Because we're talking biological, like, forming together. Like, not even like a Power Ranger. Like, this is like, I slap together and, like, our flesh melds into a... Ugh. Yeah, no, that's some Cthulian shit right there.
I mean, it can be, right? Unless it, like...
That's when you have, like, some extra cultists and you throw them into a circle.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with like making a flesh golem out of your extra cultists. That's just a thing you do sometimes.
No, I mean, you're making use of your resources.
Right, absolutely.
But unfortunately, what they do is they take the dumbest cultists, and then it turns into a monster even they can't control, because they put Tim in there.
Yeah. Fucking Tim.
Fucking Tim. He never does the all the chanting right.
No, he doesn't. Like that's why he's part of the sacrifice, right? Because he can't do the chant correctly.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, man,
So
that'd be
for all of you who are in evil cults out there, make sure that you practice your chants at home so that you can get them right, so that you're not sacrificed to a giant flesh golem.
Make sure you're not Tim.
Make sure you're not Tim. We should do PSAs.
Did we do one last time? I can't remember if we did one last time.
Did we do a PSA last time? I feel like we do PSAs occasionally.
Well, we definitely do during the regular stream. It's just sort of like, here is some wisdom that you should have, and it's always like ridiculous.
And then there's like the one coworker beside you who's like taking notes, and you're like, wait, why would you be taking notes on that?
You're like, why would you be taking notes on that? And then you look down and you realize that he's actually writing on like a scroll made of human flesh, and then you realize that what you said was really, really apt. Oh man. I tell you, man, so good.
Yeah.
Anyways, so like last couple thing, or like one last thing that I want to plug real fast, like just about like gaming in general and like giant monsters.
Okay.
There's one that lives in infamy in Dungeons and Dragons. It's called the Tarrasque. It like dungeon masters have threatened to use the Tarrasque many, many times throughout the history of like running D&D.
Hey, Master Chief.
Amen. Actually, have I threatened you with the Tarrasque before? I think I have jokingly.
Yeah. I feel like everybody who plays D&D always talks about the Tarrasque.
Definitely. Like, it's one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, I mean, like, maybe one day if our characters are ever level 20, we could like try it and it would be hilarious. Just to see like how bad you'll get stomped. Because like, even if you manage to like kill the Tarrasque, it like comes back. Like it doesn't actually die. It just hibernates.
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious.
Here, let me get a picture of a Tarrasque for people in chat.
So good. Guys, it's like... I can't even describe it. It's a kaiju. Like it is literally just a kaiju. Sorry, there was a noise back there. I don't know if you guys could hear it or not, but it freaked me out for a second.
Yeah, here's a Tarrasque.
Yeah, let me see this thing. I mean, I've seen it before. I just want to see this picture.
I think this is the typical one that you find in the monster manual.
Oh yeah, that's the 3.5 Tarrasque picture. They've got a slightly updated one in the 5th edition one, and I think they also had one in the 4th edition monsters manual. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Giant like shell back thing, lots of sharp spiny things. Yeah, terrible. I mean, JJ, it is impossible to kill. Like it's huge. It sleeps for like a millennia and then it wakes up and like bad shit happens. Like you can't stop it. It's literally a Godzilla monster in Dungeons and Dragons. It's really there as kind of like a hilarious, like, let's try and see if our characters might do this, or like how much we can do to it eventually. Like, it's a challenge that is not supposed to be defeated. It's a challenge to see how far you get.
Yeah, and actually you bring up a good point there. A lot of kaiju have a way to come back.
You think so, Debo? He says
is that its weakness?
That's one
it's
weakness.
Gluten intolerance.
Just put bread in its mouth. That's why we never defeat
The
it.
loaf launchers!
In bread baking.
I mean, there you go.
Man, the one time I play a baker.
Bake the shit out of everything. What's that one anime that we watched that was all about bread baking?
Yakitate Japan.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yakitate Japan. Go watch it. It's about bread. It's amazing.
Basically, I don't even know how to describe that show other than imagine the most badass anime applied to baking bread.
It's so good.
Yeah. Don't they give recipes at the end of the show?
Yeah. They actually like give you like ways to bake bread at home, and most of the recipes are like super easy to do. Like one of them's actually like, here's how you cook bread in a rice cooker, so you don't even have to have like anything special.
Sweet.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna get off on the anime tangent. That's like a whole
No, that's
episode
probably a, yeah. That's another show.
Right. Poison's over here, and she's like, yeah, like we could just talk about shonen anime for a single show.
All right.
Yeah. Anyways,
yeah. I think we'll stop there for the day.
for sure.
Yeah, we've done a fair bit about kaiju, giant monsters, Godzilla, and hell, apparently zombies and this weird bullshittery science or bullshittery magic.
Just wait until we get to the point where we're talking about like zombie kaiju.
Oh fuck. I mean, there's gonna be a day when they're gonna start being like, well, you know, zombies were a cool thing, and you know what makes things better? Kaiju. Zombie kaiju. and then they'll jump the shark by having frickin' Van Helsing kaiju.
Oh no, fuck that.
Well, Van Helsing, a great movie. I love that movie.
Right. It's right up there with Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It actually was surprisingly good.
I love that movie.
Oh man. Anyways,
another time for yeah. I think we have in our list like lore about monsters beyond just stuff like that.
Space Devo, they're powered by magic. That is all you have to know. It doesn't matter about the science.
And or radioactivity.
Right, and or radioactivity.
All right. So yeah, I think we'll stop there for the day.
Sure.
For the talk show. I will be back with Skyrim from our normal scheduled thing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the talk show. We usually do this every Thursday. That's my cell phone. We usually do this every Thursday around 5:15, and then we just talk until freaking I don't know.
Usually we get done around 6, so it's only like an hour and a half. But
yeah, something like that.
It's a good talk. It's a good talk.
But yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed. In order for me to switch to Skyrim, I don't think I have to switch because I didn't change in the volume. So I think we're good. You just got no, JJ. We're switching to Skyrim, so it's cool, man. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed the talk show. Say we'll be back next week for who knows what else.
We'll find out later.
One of our topics, and we'll probably talk about it one day. It's I love the Amish people are really just LARPing.
Oh my god. Anybody who doesn't know, LARPing stands for live action roleplay. Basically, we're saying that the Amish people are just pretending that they're Amish. We'll talk about that at some point.
We'll talk about that. Oh shit. Anywho,
it's gonna be one awesome fucking thing. Anyways,
we could make that a creative, like, make the Amish role playing game.
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
Oh, fantastic. Anywho, so yeah, I'll be switching to Skyrim. Hope you guys enjoyed the talk show. I'm just gonna change to the title screen to be back shortly as I switch over the title and all that. So I'll see you in chat, Saberwolf, or wherever.
Right, I gotta go grocery shopping. So
okay. All right, I'll see you later then. All right,
man.
Everybody say bye to Saberwolf.
Bye, everybody.
All right, I'll be back in a second, guys.
Cool.
For Skyrim. All right.